try to channel some positive vibes to the Vikings as they try to make a move higher in the draft when everyone knows they want to make a move and everyone is going to stick it to them. They're going to have to pay.
It's you versus me to that right now
to get to where they want to go.
Let's start it off. It's you versus me. It's G-Men versus the Vikings right now. And the G-Men, right? I mean, it is. It's going to be a little Florio Sims battle tonight.
Drake May. I hope the Giants get Drake May. God, I hope. Of all the things I've hoped for in my life, at least in the last couple of years, I hope for nothing more than the Giants to get Drake May so your head will literally explode.
Well, if he joins the squad, I'm gonna join in the support of Drake May. I'm a Giants fan, so that's gonna happen. I'm gonna. I was not all for them, drafting Daniel Jones either, right? And I've supported him, and I certainly think they're,
and it's worked out very well.
They're screwing him over. Well, I think they're screwing him over a little bit. I don't agree with this, but listen, this is real. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? I mean, I know from enough people now that the Giants and the Vikings are both trying to trade to number 3 with the New England Patriots, and they are both trying to get Drake May. That is, period, hands down. Now, where the Patriots are in that situation and who they want, and do they want to take Drake May or anything like that, I don't know that. I don't know. But I do know that it is a Vikings-Giants showdown right now for that third pick and seeing who can get, Drake May to be their quarterback of the future. That's a very real thing out there in the NFL. It's going on, and I'm sure conversations are going to go on throughout the day to try to get that all figured out, Mike.
Doing the deal with the Giants would still put the Patriots in position to get J.J. McCarthy if that's their fallback, because they'd go to number 6. Now, they could get jumped by the Vikings, for example, at 4 or 5 if they do slip back to number 6. Doing the deal with the Vikings would give them 2 first-round picks this year. I still think that the Patriots are going to take the best offer from one of those 2 teams. That's pasta and meatballs. I think all this talk about, they're going to take Drake May. That's all bargaining, negotiating tactics.
Yeah, sure.
Getting the 2 teams to put more on the table. I say this all the time as it relates to a player. Your best leverage is, we're just going to keep him. No, I don't like your offer. We're just keeping him. When you come off as, we're desperate to sell, that's when the price changes. So if your attitude is, and I think that's the attitude the Patriots need to have, basically, we have Drake May. We're just going to keep him. That will entice the Giants and the Vikings and anyone else that may try to come out of nowhere to give more. And at the end of the night, the Patriots could emerge with enough picks to make a bad roster better. And that's why I think it doesn't make sense for the Patriots. It really doesn't make sense for the Giants. Let me tell you, the Giants have been a hot mess since they won Super Bowl 46. When you look back at how they've struggled, they haven't been able to build a team. They're building from the outside in, not the inside out. And now they've got all these needs. And they're going to give up draft capital for a quarterback who comes in while they have Daniel Jones under contract this year, $35.5 million fully guaranteed salary. Could they trade him? Could that be the end result of this?
I've
they
crossed
offer
my mind.
Daniel Jones to the Patriots?
Yeah.
Is that part of this package?
I don't know.
And if they get him,
right,
do they trade him to the Vikings? I mean, the Vikings saw what he could do in a playoff game. They see what he can do when he's healthy. He's basically Kirk Cousins who can run, isn't he?
I mean, in some ways he is, right? Again, I know I started off this segment saying, I wasn't a big fan of the Giants drafting Daniel Jones back in the day at, I think it was, pick number 6, and what's where they're sitting there right now, right? I wasn't, but at the same time, I've reevaluated, and I don't think he's a superstar, but like you're saying, there's a lot of problems with the Giants. And then, I don't know what the Daniel Jones situation would be. As I was finding this stuff out yesterday, right, and as I really found it out kind of yesterday evening, I was like, man, that was one of the first things that went through my brain. Well, what are they going to do with Daniel Jones? That's a little weird. But at the same time, Drake May, they want him. I mean, they're like viewed by everybody as kind of the guy that needs to be, like, things have to be fixed. That's not like Chris Sims thing or some other guy that breaks down quarterbacks. Like, I don't know anybody, even his supporters on TV, everybody recognizes he needs some time, and there's some things and polish and technique work that needs to be done. And in a huge year, where Dayball went from Bono to Bozo, right? And it's a big year like that. I just can't imagine them going, okay, wait, leave Daniel Jones and we'll ride this out with Drake May and Drew Lock in a big year where our ass is going to be on the hot seat with Bill Belichick hovering over everybody. That's where I'm like, I don't understand that.
And sorry, Cher, your late former husband did not get an intentional shout out this morning. It's not Sonny Bono. Bono. Bono to Bono.
Did I say Sonny? I didn't even know I said.
No.
Okay.
You said Bono.
I said Bono.
You said Bono.
Okay.
Sonny is the only Bono of which I'm aware.
Okay. Sorry,
Bono.
Sorry.
Did you go to the show at the Sphere?
No,
you didn't go that night.
No, I did not. I did not. Nope. I went.
You had dinner. We'd be friends. High rollers. The high rollers hanging out at the Wynn. Too good for the commoners to go to the Sphere.
I know. Yeah,
At least I remember we were in Las Vegas.
Right.
At least I remember we were in Las Vegas.
Commoners
now.
at Sphere with $1,000 at the last row of the place. Yeah, you're real common, Mike. Kiss my ass.
All right. Pete dropped in an interesting nugget here. I mentioned the Giants have been a hot mess since they won Super Bowl 46. They have the fourth fewest regular season wins since winning that Super Bowl against the Patriots. The Jaguars have the fewest at 60, which is really depressing considering 2017 they were on the cusp of going to the Super Bowl. Jets at 69, Browns at 70, Giants at 76. Fourth fewest wins since the 2011 season. And it's been ricocheting from coach to coach. I mean, the one cycle that was broken this year is Brian Daboll didn't get fired during or after his second season. It had been guy with the big suit. Why am I blanking on his name?
Ben McAdoo, right?
Brill Cream Ben McAdoo. I know the word Brill Cream would trigger the recollection. And then it was Pat Shurmur. And then it was Joe Judge. Am I missing somebody else?
No.
And then it was right. Brian Daboll.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. And a lot of it is one of the recurring themes. Ownership keeps a big spoon in the stew and stirring it around. And, I've heard that the whole Daniel Jones extension, because it's like, well, what are they, like, why are they doing this? They just signed Daniel Jones to an extension last year. Apparently, and I don't know this to be 100% true, but I've heard talk that it was all John Mara. It wasn't Joe Shane. It wasn't Brian Daboll. They were actually against it, as I've heard it.
Those are all the signs they're giving.
Who wanted Jones.
Right.
And because really, why would you? Like, if this was Shane and Daboll saying, we got to sign this guy to a massive contract, even though there's no apparent competition
exactly
for
right.
services,
right.
You would fire them. You wouldn't keep them on the job and then say, go ahead and clean up my mess by drafting a quarterback, even if you're trading up and putting assets in. I'm telling you, I hadn't thought of it until today. Daniel Jones could be part of the mix because all it takes is one. Now, it has to be one that you're going to trade with, but you could trade with him elsewhere. You could get extra assets to trade up from 6 to 3 by trading Daniel Jones to someone, to anyone, to the Broncos. I don't know. Hell, they just got Zach Wilson. They may as well get Daniel Jones too. Complete the New York sweep of failed starting quarterbacks. So I'm just saying that if somebody out there secretly loves Daniel Jones and believes if he's healthy, and that's the big if, they can take him and turn him into something, that's a possibility for tonight. And maybe the Giants would pay part of the salary to just move on from him. I mean, if they're going to pay him $35.5 million to sit his ass on the bench because they're going to put the new guy into the fray to try to save the jobs of Daboll and Shane right away, why not pay $10, $15 million of his salary to get him off the books or more? You're going to pay him $35.5 to sit on the bench, and you already have Drew Lock there to be the backup anyway. I hadn't really thought about that angle to it, but I'm looking at this as they're going to have Daniel Jones and Drew Lock and new guy. Man, that's weird. Maybe Daniel Jones will be gone by the time that this conversation is happening tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. I thought about it. It certainly went through my head like I explained, but I think some of the points you just made, though, I don't know if that's going to get it done for some team, right? I mean, again, the problem with this is Daniel Jones has an aura around him and a perception that's just not positive. Plus, it's the ACL injury. So, yeah, as much as I go, well, maybe they'll trade Daniel Jones, that's weird. At the same time, I go, wait, but who's going to want Daniel Jones? Who's going to be able to sell, hey, Daniel Jones is about to be our starter, and he's coming back from an ACL, everybody, and we're paying $35 million or whatever it may be in case the Giants do. That's where I just don't see that move being made. I don't. And if it's going to be Drake May, which everybody thinks it is, and from people I know and connected to this situation, right, that's what it seems to be, right? I don't think you want to let go of Daniel Jones if it's going to be Drake May. Again, back to the thing where nobody thinks Drake May can hit the field running next year, which is hilarious because I want to go, that's not a number 3 pick of the draft. But this year, everybody just doesn't care about that. It's just
that's an excellent point,
right?
That's an excellent point,
right?
I was saying that yesterday on radio somewhere. If you think enough of a guy to make him the 3rd overall pick in the draft, and you're going to give up assets to get him, you can't put him on the bench. This isn't Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes.
It's weird. And
One
big
team
year
got away with that.
Right.
And in hindsight, you know what? In hindsight, the Chiefs, I still think shouldn't have done it.
I agree.
Now, I'll defer to the expertise of
but
Andy
I'm with
Reid.
you. Right.
But I still think they should have played him from the get-go. I think they would have been fine
yes.
if they had put Patrick Mahomes on the field from the get-go.
Right. Agreed. I want to go if what was the last playoff game Alex Smith played in, the Steelers game? Right?
Yes.
I want to go. But if Mahomes was playing in that game as a rookie, they would have won that game and been in the AFC Championship as a rookie. I have no doubt about it. People were wide open everywhere. That was maybe I'm thinking of the year before. I might be off by a year. Because it might have been that Steeler game that got them to draft Mahomes, where they were like, wait, we're not going to be able to ever do this, right? Maybe I'm off, but either way, I'm with you in the fact that I think he should have played.
I think you're right.
Yeah, you think
I think it was 2016 playoffs,
right.
The game that got bumped from afternoon to evening because of freezing rain. I think that was that one.
Yeah,
that was the one where AB in the locker room after the game on Facebook
did the Instagram live, right.
Mike Tomlin called the Patriots assholes. And it's just beginning of the end for AB in Pittsburgh. But I remember that 2017 season.
Yeah.
That 2017 season, the offense was very sluggish in November. Travis Kelce on this program said, Patrick Mahomes doing some incredible things in practice. And I'm like, why the hell don't put him on the field? Let's see what he can do. Because remember, in the preseason, you and I both were like, holy crap, this kid can play.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point is, if you're going to go all in the sense before Jerry Jones tried to change the meaning, if you're going all in with a young quarterback, what are you doing putting him on the bench? And if you don't think he's ready to go, you're getting the wrong guy. And what's it going to do to save Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen if they make this big move to get somebody who's not going to help them now, and then it's like, go make it work with Daniel Jones and Drew Lock. We're putting the rookie in bubble wrap this year. Are you kidding me? Now, dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. Hot mess Giants, it wouldn't surprise me if they do something like that.
I mean, again, I don't know what to think right now. Again, I think to your point, right, and all things point, signs point to that direction. Buyer's remorse. Back to Rich Eisen, right, at the NFL Combine saying that. He obviously heard some of the things that you're hearing as well, right? And the fact that they're drafting or in this conversation about this quarterback and wanting to trade to 3 to get Drake May and all that, I think does speak to what you're saying. I mean, those are signs, again, we don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but you and I have been around this for a long time. That would be a sign that, the owner did it, and now the coaches are going, wait, owner, we don't like that. We like this guy, and we want to go there. And within that, you got to think they're pretty secure. They feel secure with their job, that they feel they obviously have another 2 years maybe without having to be under the chopping block of, the Maras or ownership or anything like that. Because that, again, it's a bold move. Like you're talking about, like you're saying, that's the other thing that went through my mind here is, wait, they must feel secure because if they draft Drake May and this year still goes 6-11 or 7-10 or something like that, right? I think common sense, people would go, man, I don't know. Daboll might be on the hot seat. Shane might be on the hot seat. I don't know what to do. But to make this type of move, that would make me feel that they've been told, hey, you're okay, right? Maybe ownership is admitting, we messed up. Now you fix it. We'll give you some time to fix it. And maybe that's why they're willing to do the Drake May thing.
Unless ownership is saying this is what you're going to do and you have to fix it. Too bad. This is who we want.
Could be.
Make it work. And we've seen guys get fired. Pat Shurmur got fired after 1 year with Daniel Jones. Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace got blown out in Chicago after 1 year with Justin Fields. It used to be if you would make that move for a quarterback, especially if you trade up, like the Bears did with the Giants, coincidentally, in 2021 to get Justin Fields, it gave you time. That was one of the political reasons within the building to do it, because it would buy you time.
Right.
I don't think this buys these guys anything. It may buy Shane more time. I don't think it buys Daboll more time. If they go out and get May and they put him on the bench and they're 7-10 or 6-11 or 5-12 this year. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.